Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for your patience. We have had some difficulty going live today. I'm so happy to be here, so happy to be back. It's such a joy to be back. Welcome, everybody. Let me just make sure that we have our live stream exactly like we need. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Sure that we have our live videos. Make sure our audio is working properly. Very good. All right. So we have a lot to talk about. Leah from Argentina, welcome. So great to see you. Ursula from South Africa. Avi, the camera looks so good. Yes, awesome. Hello, Sakshi Jane. So great to see you. 3:15 in India. Oh, I'm so happy you could join us. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, apologies for the delay. This has been, yeah, for some reason we just couldn't go live. We couldn't connect with the YouTube. We had to sign in, sign out, download updated, what is it called, Google. And then finally we were able to do it. So, okay. So we have a lot to talk about, guys. I hope you guys have had an amazing, amazing week. I am back. I'm fully recovered now, and I'm so happy to be back, and everything was good. Went through an incredible eclipse, and yeah, so it's really interesting. I don't know how you guys have been experiencing the eclipses, but they're very, very strong, especially for me. I feel them very, very strongly. And yeah, it's just incredible amounts of experience to understand what is needed, what we need to do as a collective. Every time these things happen, they kind of shift the perception of where our priorities need to be and what needs to be the focus. So I feel really, really clear about what we're doing here together, and the goal of our work, as a community. And there's a couple things that I want to focus on primarily when it comes to working. Um, we want to today's self-love Sunday is going to be focused on learning how to shift your frequency like this from one moment to the next. Okay, so we're going to talk about that because the concept of doing shadow work is something that you're doing in your own time in meditation, and it's something that should be ongoing. Okay, the shadow work is just you integrating your shadow, and of course we have a lot of aspects of the unknown that we are getting to know. There's a lot of elements of life that we are becoming comfortable with, and this is an ever-changing system, so we are learning how to adapt to change constantly. So in order to adapt to change, we have to keep moving with the things that are happening in our life. And for some people, that's very difficult because we become attached. Not just some people, for everyone, it's at certain levels. Because attachment it's a biochemical addiction. We're addicted to programming. We're addicted biochemically, and in our comfort zone. Because we're not conscious, because we're asleep, we're unconscious. It's very easy to disassociate with what is actually happening in your body in the present moment. Okay, so disassociation is a really big thing that we have to learn to integrate and overcome and change, because this is the number one trauma. It's a result of all kinds of childhood trauma that has caused us to not want to feel, to not be sensitive to our emotions, to our sensations, to not be attuned to that. And part of the reasons why we are avoiding feeling and the sensations, of the emotions, very strong emotions, and what they mean, is that we are, let me fix that. Hold on a second. Let me put in captions for you guys. Okay. So one of the reasons is that every time that you fall asleep, so remember, we here are some clear steps on how to shift your frequency in the moment. Okay. Number one, your level of awareness with yourself. Okay. So being in the present moment is essentially how you change your timeline. And I have experimented with this over and over and over and over again. It is absolute part of the structure of this reality. We are learning how to shift our frequency in order to be more aware of what we're experiencing. The more that we are unconscious, the more that we fall asleep, the more that we disassociate with what's happening in the present moment, the more we forget. Okay, we go into the amnesia, that hypnotic state of disconnect, where we don't really know how we got where we are in a certain moment. We don't know why we're feeling what we're feeling. We are completely disconnected. This is the number one way of allowing your energetic body to be a complete system of parasitism. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to pull up the presentation in just a minute because I want you guys to get a nice visual about what we're talking about. Our multidimensional body, remember, it's a toroidal field. Okay, you are life force, you are the awareness. And we need to remember that we are the awareness all the time. When we forget that, if you take a look at yesterday, for example, can you remember every step of your day from the moment you woke up to the moment you go to sleep? Do you know what you did? How you did what you did, why you did what you did? If you have major blank spots and you only remember maybe 2 or 3 major things that happened yesterday, you are asleep. You're asleep. You're not conscious. You're not aware. Okay. So what happens, and here's the thing, it's a twofold element that happens bioelectrically in the body. Your awareness allows you to access your free will. What that looks like geometrically, bioelectrically, is that you become more conducive. Okay. So remember, in the process of learning alchemy, which is learning how to move, to transmute that lead into gold, you are learning how to shift from a stagnant, disconnected, fractalized system into an integrated whole movement of co-creation. And to change that requires your awareness. Every time that you are disconnected, you're unaware, you're asleep, you're unconscious, you're disassociating, you're going to be leaving the body. The body is unmanaged. The body is unhoused. There's no awareness. There's no presence. Okay. And so what happens in a house that is this organism, we're a biological, bioelectrical organism of co-creation. We are created. We become created. So we are at the effect of everything around us. Okay. And so what happens in that case is that we fall back into the repetition of all of the ancestral programs that have not been addressed. We just repeat them. That's the unconscious state. So if you take a look at your day yesterday, how much of it are you there for your day? How much of the time have you remembered yourself? Because what happens to the body is that we have all kinds of disconnect and distortion in the harmonic order of your field. Okay, how to embody harmonic order? We come back to the physical body. Number one, you cannot experience the all if you're not in your body. If you're not in your body, you're barely experiencing very, very fraction of what your potential is. Okay, and that is fractal. It's the same with your brain functions. It's the same with your mastery over your organism. It's the same with your manifestation. Okay, so when we talk about manifestation and co-creation in our life experience, manifestation is intention with aligned action. Okay, action that is in alignment with that intention. And that intention and that alignment is in alignment with your core values. Okay, so the core values, the more those core values align with universal laws, the more those align with the universal laws and harmonic order, the more the body automatically starts realigning back into its state. Okay, so what are the blockages of coming into that state? Again, lack of awareness. And then what happens in the lack of awareness? Multidimensionally, we start to accumulate energy in the body because what doesn't move gets stuck. Okay, so you are meant to be moving constantly. Your energy body has to be fluid. We want to be constantly moving with that Wu Wei, as they say in Qigong, okay, which is the receive and absorb of the universe. If your body is not receiving and absorbing all the time with your awareness, this is where we have a contraction of your field, holds, blockages, distortions. And then, of course, psychologically, those are emotional blockages. Biochemically, we are, utilizing chemicals that are creating all kinds of inflammation, stress, anxiety. We are existing in the past and the future. We are living in illusion, but never the truth. Okay, so aligning with truth is a process. Okay, it's a biological process. It's a bioelectrical, and it's an emotional process, and then psychological. Okay, so to align with truth, all of those aspects have to gently come in. And essentially, it means allowing yourself to embody your raw, authentic self. That means the unmanipulated, undisturbed observer that is within you, that is not wearing masks of trauma, experiences, survival, fear, whatever masks that we wear, those masks are now taken off. The authentic observer is the one that creates. That is the master of creation. And so our invitation is to find that observer every day, every moment, return back to the observer, cultivate the observer, because it's from the observer that we actually create and manifest. And so let's talk about bioenergetics of that. Okay, what happens in the energy body when we begin to move all of that stagnant information? Couple things. First of all, we are activating our intuition. Okay, so the faculty that is innately part of your gifts, everybody has intuition. Everybody is working with the intuitive body. But the invitation is that you begin to read your energy body. So let me just pull up my slides here because I want to get into this. Okay. So, your toroidal field. My mouse is not working very well. Okay. Okay, so this is your toroidal field. Okay. So when I say that we should be moving, this toroidal field, this is a not an incomplete representation of what your toroidal system looks like. Okay. We have thousands of these toroidal field systems all over the body. Every single cell of the body is producing a toroidal energy field. Okay. But every single layer of your body. We have many layers of the body, from the quantum level up to the more physical and larger systems of energy. Okay, the ones that run your co-creation of this physical world. Each one of these cells is intercommunicating with one another. The ones that are projecting into the experience, into the matrix, they are projecting your experience, are the primary 7 main chakras, which are the 7 main toroidal fields in your body. Okay, those 7 main toroidal fields together, they make up this giant toroidal field around your body. Okay, and that field of this toroidal field is made up of little tiny coils. Okay, so imagine that every single one of these lines that you see here is actually another toroidal field. It's a coil that stems from each chakra and projects out into the field around you. Each chakra is processing different vibrational frequencies. Okay, so we have many ranges of vibrational frequencies. Each one of the frequencies of visible light are the ones that are being processed through your physical body. So your physical body is processing these range of emotions, frequencies, which of course are organized, self-organized from lowest frequency to highest frequency within the body. Okay. Each one of these energy systems in the body, we have all kinds of meridian lines and energy systems in the body that are interconnecting these runways and pathways of energy, of life force. So your toroidal field around you becomes stagnant and doesn't move when we have blockages in any one of these points here. How do these points become blocked? It is the contraction of information, the contraction of energy. Okay, so every thought form that you have that becomes stagnant. How does something become stagnant? It goes into a repetition loop, and it doesn't expand beyond. So this is the beauty of this organism that we have, the human body. Everything functions in the Fibonacci sequence, in a fractal model pathway of expression. The life force is expressed in a fractal mode. And when we do not align by that natural system of a fractal, that in that spiraling motion of movement, we block. So to be in harmonic order biologically means that we are processing life force, energy, and information freely, openly through the body. So we receive, we absorb. Receiving from the universe, absorb, release. Okay, so receiving and releasing. So what does this look like? The more that we practice the receiving and the releasing of life force, the absorbing and the releasing of life force, the more you come into harmonic order. Why? Because we are aligning with the Schumann resonance, which is the frequency of the earth. The earth is operating in a frequency that is designed to create regenerative systems of life. This earth is beaming with life. Every aspect of this planet Earth is designed to create life. The elements, the laws of physics, and everything is designed by mathematical order and exactitude. That is how beautiful this system exists. Everything from how people come together in groups, to how your breathing patterns in your body, to how your blood is flowing through your body, and then life force, energy. Okay? From the woman's cycle in the month, to hormonal changes, to years and months, the energy is in a fractal form. It's all moving through this progression of evolution. And so, what causes illness and sickness and stagnation in the body is the blockages of these natural ebb and flow, okay, of this releasing and absorbing of life force. So, how do we come into that psychologically? Is, of course, simplified, it's non-attachment. Okay. We have to be able to align with not becoming attached and blocked by any thought form. Emotions have to be moving through the body. Okay. And that means, so in order to make an emotion move, you have to sit with it, you have to be with it, you have to be present with it. Your awareness is what moves things. That's the law of how consciousness functions. When it absorbs, when it's observed, it's changing. When you observe yourself, you change, you move, you align, and you come into that harmonic order. So every time that we start to have blockages in the field, every single emotion that you felt in the past 24 hours that you've just ignored or bypassed or said, oh, that's not important or it's not necessary, you are desensitized. We have become desensitized to the millions of systems that are interconnected to feeling that one emotion. The emotion is connected to your organs, it's connected to meridian lines and how bioelectricity is moving through the body. Every single emotion is a bioelectrical charge. It's a creation system. And every emotion you feel is input. So your largest organism for manifestation is the emotional body. When you're disconnected to the emotions, when you're desensitized from the emotions, your ability to manifest becomes very limited. Your ability to change timelines, your ability to heal, your ability to move, to shift becomes affected. So here's how we begin to move with that, is clearing the energy body. So how to shift your frequency from this stagnant unconscious state in 1 second. Okay, number one, you come into the present moment. You bring your full awareness back into your body. You ground yourself, which means that you completely bring your awareness to every single part of your body in the present moment, from your feet, from the base of your soles of your feet, up to the crown of your head, and even your hair. Every single part of the body becomes aware. It is through the awareness that you have mastery over anything. The lack of awareness, you are being created, you are being affected, you are being manipulated by the external, by your own unconscious, and by ancestral repetition. So what happens in the energy body, and as quickly as you can take yourself out, you can also quickly block yourself. Okay, because we have generations of programming that we're holding that is already in the DNA. Okay, and so of course that's why we talk about doing the shadow work to begin to work with that, clear that out, become aware of it, simply become aware of it. But second part is to clear your energy body. So basically what happens in the energetic field is that every emotion that you have not felt, that you've avoided, that you've disconnected, usually that emotion has already been something that you've been repeating many times. Okay? Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so usually it's an emotion that you already have in your subconscious and you're repeating for a very long time. Okay, so and what happens is that because you have that emotion, which is a product of a belief system is in your nervous system, recorded in your fascia, in your muscle system. Beliefs, that's how powerful beliefs are. Beliefs are not just they are not just thoughts that are passing by that don't affect the body. Beliefs are very deeply integrated programming into the way that you sustain and hold light in the body. And so what shadow work is to get to know your beliefs your limiting beliefs and transmute them into non-limiting beliefs. So that transmutational process, what that looks like in the energy body, is a accumulation of stagnation. And this energy body cannot spin because every thought that you have, a lot of our thoughts are thoughts that we've inherited, but it doesn't mean that it's not your responsibility to change it. A lot of people feel these, they know they've inherited the thought forms, and we fall into victim mode when all that is needed is to face the belief and really sit with it to understand, is this really something that I align with? Is this in alignment with my core belief systems? Is it in alignment with harmonic order? And if the answer is no, then we begin to change that immediately, right? And so, because the amazing thing about existing in this earth realm is that we're experiencing duality, which makes things simple, believe it or not. All you're doing is you're trying to understand, what is the opposite of the belief that I'm believing? What does that look like? What does that feel like? How is that embodied? How is that manifested? How does that change my relationships around me? How does that change the way I embody? So the transmutational process of one belief system can change a chain reaction in many aspects of your life. That's how powerful it is. That's what DNA reprogramming is all about. We understand those core beliefs so that we can unpack what is happening and understand the embodiment of the opposite. Because that belief system is generations, and it's also reinforced by the matrix. Okay, the matrix, which thrives off disconnected, unconscious consumers that believe they have no power, that believe they are victimized by any external power to them. So anytime that we feel victimized by anything external to us, we give away our power, and we are inherently not taking responsibility for our creation. And this is super important right now, because as we are moving into these accelerated energies, they are definitely going to be highlighted. So what happens in the multidimensional body when you start to work with a thought form that gets blocked in the body? These repeated blocks, these repeated thought forms in the body, again, they are in your field. Okay, so they are in your field already. What does that mean? It's in your DNA. Okay, what is it? The DNA, the holographic DNA system, which is a bioelectrical memory system, is holding all the programs and belief systems that make up and help write the 2% DNA. That can be long-term illnesses, long-term belief systems that are hard to break, generational traumas, ancestral traumas, collective traumas, all of those things. They are in the collective field of information, which we pool from. So you are a product of that holographic projection of the information that you are reinforcing through your actions, through your thoughts, through your emotions. And what that does is essentially whatever is most reinforced, whatever you repeat. This universe is very simple. It's based on what you're repeating, what you're reinforcing. If you reinforce pain, suffering, loneliness, fear, anxiety, hatred, separation, duality, that is what your life is going to be all about. That's what you are going to experience. That's what you're going to meet. That's what you're going to get to know. That's what you're going to see. That will be the filter of your reality. Why? Because your entire field basically changes in color. The entire field changes the color. What is color? Color is frequency. Frequency is resonance. And the law of this universe is working by resonance. Basic laws of the universe that we need to get really familiar with. So to shift your frequency is a shift in the color of your creative frequency. And we talk about the crown chakra because the crown chakra is the center of manifestation. The crown chakra is your higher self. Whether you allow the higher self to integrate into your body or not depends on how you are using your crown chakra. But all of your crown chakra is taking all the information that you're processing through your body, through all the other chakras. However, you are holding life force in the body, all of the accumulation and all the strongest repetitive thought forms and frequencies that you're repeating here in the body are processed by the crown and then projected into the human experience. Okay, so this starts to be projected into the human experience, and you get to experience everything that you have been storing and repeating here within your DNA, within your holographic energy system. So the second part of this transformation is to learn how to clear your energy body. What does that mean? You bring yourself automatically into the 0 point. What is the 0 point? The observer. It's the cultivation of the observer. How do we do that? We clear the energy body. The energy body is cleared in 2 ways: emotionally and etherically. Okay, so you want to shift your mood from one moment to the next. You want to start to heal your body from an illness. You want to change your timeline. You want to change what you're experiencing. This is the formula. Eliminate the emotions out of your body. So first of all, let me preface by saying, eliminating the emotions from your body doesn't mean ignoring the emotions. It means being absolutely present with them. Okay? But if you are in a state of urgency and you fell asleep and you're in a timeline which is not something that you want to experience, you have to immediately begin to work with your body. So you have to neutralize all of that illusion that you're living through your body, because suffering and fear and pain is an illusion that we create. Okay, everything. We're creating everything. We create everything. And so you have to take back that awareness that you are the one producing these experiences in your life by the belief systems that you are reinforcing in that present moment. So we have to alchemize that. Okay, so let's talk about this. So in the moment, let's say in this moment, you become aware of yourself. You're checking in with your body. You begin to notice the present moment doesn't feel comfortable because, let's say, you have a tightness in the belly. Okay, so you start to focus on that tightness. What is that tightness? Name the emotions, acknowledge the emotions. You have to be there for your emotions. If you disassociate, if you disconnect, your emotions, your body is asking you for attention. Why? Because this life is, as much as we need to take it in a joyful, childlike manner, in reality, we have to take it also serious. Which means, what does that mean? You have to take yourself. You have to respect and honor this physical body. Honor yourself. Because you see, because we don't understand what self-love is, we're busy surviving. Survival makes us disconnect. Survival makes us avoid. Survival makes us prioritize someone else over your well-being in that moment. These are all programs, and they can go very deep, these belief systems. So the attention has to be redirected to the self in order to understand what it is that you are feeling in that moment. So you name out the emotions, acknowledge the emotions. Number 1, as you observe these emotions in your body by acknowledging, you're going to begin to release the tension in all the parts of your body that have been blocked, bringing you back into the 0 point. And what happens as you do that, as those stagnant energies and emotions start to release and expand in your body, your nervous system will regulate. You're going to start to bring your muscle contractions into relaxation and expansion. Okay, and what happens in the toroidal field is that it also begins to expand, and it also solidifies, because your field, your energy body, most of you are walking around with all kinds of tears and holes inside of your field. Okay, So the tears and the holes in your field make it so that, you have all these blocks, all these holes and tears. This is where all your energy is going. It's going into all these holes and tears. How can you participate in the absorption of life force through your body, in the releasing of life force through your body, if your energy body is completely distorted? This kind of energy body happens when we are not in the body, when we are not present in the body. So returning back to the awareness into the body allows us to work with this. Okay, so again, the toroidal field that begins to have holes and tears is we can shift that immediately. So part of cleaning the energy body is repairing the energy body. And you do this immediately. Okay, imagine you have all these holes in your toroidal field. Okay, so you become aware just by sitting in the present moment. Everything that you feel inside your body, it's projected in your energy field. And everybody can sense this. There's not a single person that can't sense it. You're going to see blockages. You're going to see heavy stagnation in the back of your body, heavy stagnation in the right, the left, the front, the bottom. Pay attention. Where is it that you have holes and tears in your energy body? Where do you feel? It's going to feel like it's heavy and stagnant and full of stuff. You don't know what. It just feels stagnant in your energy body. So you need to pay attention to that, and that is what you're going to clear out of the body. So how do we clear out of the body? Because you're a toroidal field, you have two exit ways of this energy system. You are connecting to the earth, and you're connecting to source, to the cosmos, the source, not necessarily cosmos. You're talking about cosmic energy, which is source energy, okay? It is the field of the infinite potential. Our human bodies are made up of two sources of energy, primarily the earth energy and source energy. This is why we do running energy. This is natural foundation of energy body 101. To clear the energy body, this human organism that exists in the physical matrix is made up of the earth, of this planet Earth, and of source. So to return back into harmonic order, we have to clean up all of the junk that we've stored in our it's like a little shell, like a little snail that has all these little things that they keep in their shell, back into that harmonic order, clearing it out. Okay, so everything you've accumulated in the past 24 hours, you can send down to the center of the earth, okay? Because the earth functions like a recycling system. Why? Because the earth is, and you know these things, the more that you meditate, the more that you come back into harmonic order, the more these things that I'm telling you are going to be very clear to you. They're indisputable truths because you begin to see it in everything. You see it all around you. Okay, so the earth is constant regeneration, right? Just like plants, they grow, they live, they die, they regenerate. Everything is part of that cycle. Animals, they kill each other, eat each other, give birth, give life again, and the cycle goes on and on in the animal kingdom. Okay, so in that same way, these are the regenerative systems of the Wu Wei, which is the releasing and the absorbing, releasing, absorbing, releasing life force that is dead and no longer necessary, absorbing the infinite potential that exists all around you, this life force that is available to you. And so the earth is operating, it's a powerful, powerful system of energy, regenerative energy. That's why when we go into nature, the body starts to heal because it naturally realigns with that harmonic system of clearing. You can also release from above, returning back to source. Okay, so you can clear the body, and usually you see, because your body is such an intelligent system of self-organizing frequency from lowest at the lower extremities of your body to highest frequencies, the more etheric aspects of yourself, thought forms, the non-tangible, non-physical elements of your creation. These two exit ways are designed to help you process that blockage in that frequency. So, heart blockage, throat blockage, the heavier ones are in the first three chakras. That's usually, very strong attachments to belief systems, emotional patterns in the body, pain, suffering, emotions that have not been processed, denials, fears, thoughts of the past, memories of the past that are stagnant, of the future, traumas. All of that is a very low dense frequency. They also become crystallized in the energy body because you keep repeating them. So this is what we clear out. Okay, so we're going to clear the energy body, sending these blockages. As you become aware of them, you send them down to the center of the earth or out to the crown of your head. And you are realigning your body back into harmonic order by coming back into that ebb and flow, the releasing and the absorbing of energy. Now, you're also going to be moving with the etheric body and the releasing and absorption of life force, which is through your breath, inhaling, exhaling. Okay, we are moving life force through the body and through your energy that becomes spinning. It starts to spin. Now that you cleared your energy body, it can move now. Okay, but as soon as you forget the present moment, it's going to start to slow down again. Okay, so again, this is a very powerful system of co-creation that we create, and you become more conducive. You become more bioelectrical conducive as you are moving this life force in the body. Okay, so finally, let's talk about manifestation and co-creation. So let's say you cleared your energy body. How do you now come back into this timeline that is more in alignment with you? It's the 0 point. Okay, your intention is to be in harmonic order, and from that intention, your actions are going to match. Your thoughts are going to match, your words are going to match, your energy is going to match. So you are going to become a monitor of yourself, monitoring, being aware of yourself as soon as you start coming into a distortion of that. And the more you recognize when you come into that distortion, the easier your shadow work is going to become, because you're doing it in the present moment instead of waiting for 3 months to go by, all these things to accumulate, and then you have this reaction. Okay, so let's go into the meditation. Let me stop this here, and let me know if you have questions about what I just shared. Put your questions in capital letters. Let me come over here to the questions, and let's start in the Zoom. SJ, can you please make your questions super concise and in capital letters? So I'm going to read that capital letters. Do your meditations help us regulate our nervous system too, as there are many somatic exercises circulating to heal and expand our nervous system capacity to hold more? Do I do traditional yoga daily, chakras, etc., to make a lot of the changes in my life? I started with yoga and then met you all. So please let me know if these meditations are enough. I mean, the thing is that, again, as I explained today, it's the observation that immediately brings you into the ability to work with your nervous system. Okay, we have to be aware. We have to become aware. If you're not aware, your nervous system is running the old programs over and over again. So the invitation is really to begin to work with that awareness. And it can be that simple. If you just practice the awareness throughout your day, everything else will kind of come into place. So, when I came into all this work, I started meditating very early, but the actual work That's when I really learned all these things. You learn through practice. You're not going to learn through reading in a book or even listening to me. You have to do it and you have to explore it. And you have to see how it works for you, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Because through that process, you are learning about generations of contraction. How you have become contracted is generations of that repeated contraction. That's what you're breaking. And that's how you know your purpose. Okay, because right now you might be confused. You're not sure why you're here. You're not sure what you're supposed to be doing. And it all starts there. As you start to get to know yourself in the present moment, what are my limitations? Why are those my limitations? Okay, starts to open up a history. And then you begin to break those consciously. So you can't fail if you are in alignment, in a loving connection with yourself. To love yourself is to be nurturing yourself every moment in your life, supporting yourself, unlike previous mother and father that perhaps were only in survival. I've been paying attention in my observer mode, using AI tools to help me move forward with my projects and personal development and reflection and meditate on AI feedback. What enhancement feedback can you give me to further my progress? Well, I'm not sure what AI and projects have to do with your internal work specifically. Because you see, those are two separate things, right? So your AI work and your projects, um, that's great, but the internal work, you are in observation of yourself, will help you discern what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing to come more in alignment with your projects and to see if that's, what you need to be doing. Yeah, so for me, we don't need any of these external things for the meditation work. Your meditation work is very simple. You just work with yourself. And I don't believe that we need any technology for meditation work at all. I don't even think we need any kind of psychedelics or any kind of stimulants because you have everything inside of you. And the more that we cultivate that, uh, the stronger your field will become, and also you're activating your organic technology, which is absolutely essential at this time. Okay, your development of your organic technology, which is through your awareness, the activation of your psychic abilities. The more that you come into the 0 point and the more you detach from identities, perceptions, aspects of yourself, the more you can master and begin to manipulate even matter. Okay, so this physical world that we have around us, everything is moving all the time. But if your frequency is heavy and stagnant, like that matter around you, you can't control anything. You can't move anything. Okay, the more you come into the 0 point, the more you actually cultivate abilities to connect to the field that connects all of matter, and you can affect that. You can move it. You can even move things. You can change things. Just like the concept of Jesus or a Jedi is being presented to us through these films and these different things. We have those capacities. Each and every one of us has that ability. I've experienced it myself. It's not something that is just an imagination, but it is available to you the more you come into harmonic order. And the more you detach from the identities, from fears, from attachments of the physical world, that is when you master matter. And so this is a process. And so when we talk about manifestation, remember, manifestation from the 0 point, the state of non-attachment, the state of non-identity, which is the point in which you can harness infinite potential through your body and manifest and project that into the physical world for your experience. So this is, we can change timelines, we can do all these things, but none of that matters. The basic thing is that you come back. And the reason why I say that is because some people get very, it's like a fantasy, right? We think this is a fantasy. We want to get to those cool tricks right now, without understanding that that's a natural side effect of this deep integrative work. What we need to develop is love, love. Well, everything I'm talking about here is love. It is the process and cultivation of self-love, profound self-love, because when you love yourself, you are connected to yourself. You do things that are nourishing, that are expansive for yourself. Okay, so how does a belief get formed? Is it because of repetitive thought emotions confirmed from outside world, is how beliefs formed? And then core beliefs about myself, people, universe, desires. Yeah, so as I mentioned, your beliefs are actually adopted, they're inherited. So from the womb until the age of 7, and even before that, the fact that you incarnated into your bloodline is already it's already defining the beliefs that you're going to be experiencing in your life. Your entire ancestral lineage has really strong beliefs that they are repeating for generations. They've not been able to overcome, and they're repeating. And you were part of those fractals. They're fractals of you in the same way that you're a fractal of them. So they are repeating and repeating and repeating these thought forms, and they manifest the essence of you that incarnates into the bloodline, which has an opportunity to experience something beyond that. So every human that's incarnating is an opportunity for evolution. This is how the universe learns through each and every one of us. Every soul that is manifested has a plethora of universal experience, multiversal, multidimensional experience that is being brought into every incarnation. So you that manifest into your bloodline now has the opportunity to explore what's beyond that limitation for its potential creation. And there's no right and wrong. You can continue to repeat those patterns by all means. And you can also change them and experience something else. Okay? But what is going to be the most compassionate experience, the one of these experiences provides longevity, joy, harmony, manifestation, and the other one is suffering, pain, stagnation, blockages. Okay, so that's the choice. There's nothing wrong with them. So these are the beliefs that we have to become aware of. And the first part is that you become aware of what your triggers are. Very simple. What are your triggers? The last 24 hours, what triggered you? Political post, earthquakes, whatever it is, take a look at the emotion that was triggered. That is your gold. As you feel that emotion, you see, your life experience is not random. Every single thing in your life is an awakening, an initiation potential. Every single thing. Our lives are very interesting. And there is not one leaf, not one plant, not one dust molecule that doesn't exist where it needs to exist for a reason. But only the person that is awake and aware and observing can catch that. So imagine, the more asleep you are, the less you know about your potential, about your life, about what is available to you. So as you become aware of your triggers and begin to understand that there's nothing insignificant that triggered that emotion, unpack that emotion to get what's at the root. There you go. There's the gold for you. There you find your belief. So work on finding your beliefs all the time. What are your beliefs? Your emotional triggers and responses and reactions unconsciously are the reinforcement of beliefs. Okay, so as you begin to understand the belief, you're going to notice, and here's the question I want you to ask yourself: how many generations are we repeating this one? Let's say that as soon as an earthquake happens, you feel terrified. You're gonna like, I'm terrified. What are you afraid of? Okay, death. Okay, death. That's a primal one that all humans need to learn to overcome. It's a big one, but we won't talk about that one right now. Let's talk about the attachment to losing everything that you've worked for. Okay, so this attachment goes down the ancestral lineage. And every single experience that happens is available for humankind to heal collective trauma. Death is one of those. Okay, so all humans are learning how to heal the trauma and fear of death. All humans. That's part of your human package. Okay, so let's say the attachment of losing everything. It happens in groups. So it might be a powerful earthquake to a certain city, and all of these souls have designed and chosen to live in that place for this lesson, to learn this lesson together. They're healing a collective ancestral, uh, um, limitation belief system. So global events are not random. The key is to pay attention to what it triggers in you. And here's what happens. The more people work on the triggers from these global events, the more we change timelines. Okay, so as soon as you start to shift that trigger, let's say that political thing happened and you have a really strong aversion to what was said, you work on that one, it will change. It will change. So you see, we are like these magi's of co-creation together. The more of us that wake up consciousness and become aware and take responsibility for our participation in the pain, the suffering, the unconscious repetition of belief systems that are contracting and causing suffering in the world, you are not free from creating suffering in the world. You create suffering from the pain that you have that's unresolved within you, the fears that you have unresolved within you. You create suffering and you participate in the reinforcement of really large collective sufferings. You don't realize it, but you will as you go deeper, because you're going to realize what the effect was of your own trauma in your life towards your partners, towards your family, towards your friends. Everyone is affected. There's no one that is just unaffected. So these beliefs are very deep. They're in your DNA. When we talk about DNA reprogramming, DNA activation, the more that you begin to observe these aspects of yourself, you are activating memory within you. And the key is to understand, what does the opposite look like? So let's say your detachment from the physical, all of a sudden, your nervous system relaxes. Let's go back to the earthquake example, right? Your nervous system relaxes. You are grounded. What happens? Your ability to survive actually expands. The potential expands because now you are connecting to a higher intuitive system of infinite information. You might receive an intuition to move to the left or move to the right, or leave here or leave now or take this. Those are things that we now have available to us, but the person that is ridden in fear and contraction will not be able to pick up that information. Okay, so it's very important to understand what it looks like for the human to embody these new states of belief systems. We also become regenerative in healing. Okay, so we can heal the body quicker. The body will begin to regenerate quicker. Okay. Enough on that one. SJ, is this work helps us in building our self-esteem versus self-worth versus self-concept? Firstly, are these terms the same? Next post, during your meditation and dissolving pain body, how can we build our self-worth, self-esteem, or self-concept? Gabriel will create a beautiful reality. Yeah. So basically, these words can seem foreign to us because we've never seen a demonstration of them. We've never experienced them. What does it look like to be worthy? Do we have examples of someone that is worthy in our lives, that really is taking care of their self-worth? Do we have examples of what it looks like to have someone that has strong self-esteem? Okay, so a lot of us, we don't. Most of us, actually, none of us, potentially. So we need to explore that. The more that you sit, it's very simple, as I mentioned, the opposite. Okay, so your self-esteem, you have no self-esteem. What does it look like to have self-esteem? How does it feel in the body? In DNA reprogramming, we feel that. Why? Because you need to get familiar with the emotions that are part of that in order for you to actually apply that into your everyday life. So the next time you go out to social event and you start to feel insecure or afraid or unworthy, you immediately in the present moment apply the things that you need. Okay, so first of all, you feel you need to be seen. So by who? By yourself. So you see yourself, you connect with yourself, you return back to yourself. You fill yourself with acknowledgement. You fill yourself with safety. You let yourself feel safe in that moment. And from there, you begin to feel more worthy because you are attending to yourself. And slowly, your self-concept is shifting naturally. Okay, so immediately you begin to see yourself differently in these experiences. And that is the alchemy. That is the alchemy to continue to do that kind of work. After interacting with a difficult person and a day ending clearing energies with them, processing emotions, how do we change predominant emotions towards them from pain to peace, appreciation? Find it very hard to appreciate them and constantly ruminate. So basically, it means that we have not accepted them and ourselves. We're in a state of resistance. So anytime we're ruminating or repeating or not sure how to proceed, we are in resistance. And we can be in many layers of resistance. In DNA reprogramming, we're able to look at, what is that? So sit with this emotion. What is the trigger that hasn't been addressed yet? Okay. So if you have these strong, let's say you have this strong aversion every time you see them, that doesn't allow you to feel compassion for them. Okay, what is the emotion? Control, fear of losing control. It all comes back to us. You have to understand what your relationship is with yourself in relation to this person. Because you've created all kinds of survival mechanisms to interact with this person. That's your responsibility. So we have to work with those survival mechanisms and change them. You have to meet the needs of those aspects of yourself that feel that they need protection, love, acknowledgement, support, all of that. Okay, so that's how you will change it. But essentially, you need to know what you are resisting. And you might need to forgive yourself. A lot of guilt and shame can be underneath the layers of this. Old ways that you experienced them before, things that you are ashamed of or guilt of things that happened before. Or you might be in a very strong judgment of them, which doesn't allow you to see yourself. And the key is here, the more important key is that as soon as you start to see that what you're judging in them is something that you have in you, that will absolutely humble you. And that is usually the point in which you change how you relate to that person, because you see yourself in them. Chances are that what they're doing that triggers you, you actually do towards yourself, or you do it in some other way in your life. So that's super important. And that's the alchemical key. Nicholas got a powerful download today. Awesome. Sunny, such valuable. Thank you so much, Sunny. Thank you, Leah. Abby, how do we stop fearing the sensations in my body? How do I stop feeling the sensation in my body and my psychic abilities? Okay, so Abby, I guess we need to know what kind of sensations are you fearing? I mean, are you fearing your emotions, like really strong emotions? And I'm telling you that with this time, our emotions are going to become more physical, okay? Because as we become more multidimensional, as we enter into this higher octave, the body is available to more ranges of frequency. We are processing more ranges of frequency through the body. So your emotions may feel stronger because they really must be addressed. And we can self-destruct if we don't process emotions correctly. We can develop all kinds of digestive problems, lung problems, heart problems, all kinds of illnesses that we don't need. We can do that. And that will be how the system is clearing itself of blocked energy in the collective. So we have to learn how to work with that. So how to stop fearing? First of all, the question is, what is it that we fear? So if you follow that fear, usually it comes back to the most primal fear of death. Okay, what we're afraid of is that these feelings and sensations will be so overwhelming that they will overcome us and eventually we will die. And in that fear of death is belief systems of powerlessness, belief systems of separation and isolation. And from the more psychological, etheric aspect, it's the ego that fears its annihilation, which is a really deep one to overcome, because you're basically overcoming the human incarnation. Okay, so as an incarnated essence of intelligence in this physical body, we are deeply attached to this identity. And psychologically, you're attached to the one that is surviving inside of you. So we need to, but that's an illusion. And that's a hard one to break. So we have to help this little internal part that is surviving feel safe again, continuously, all the time. We have to provide it security and let it see its worth, let it see its power, its creative potential. Basically, it has to see itself for what it really is, which is not a survivor. It's not something that needs to be in survival all the time. That is the illusion. And that's the lie that the matrix in this dualistic experience is wanting us to experience. So the more we come into this detachment of identity, detachment of all the parts of you that are striving for survival, what does it look like to not be in survival all the time? Okay, you are grounded, you're in your body, you're in peace, you're not judgmental towards yourself or anything outside of you. You're open. What did we talk about? Releasing, absorbing. We are in harmony. We come into this coherence with the planet Earth, with the experience, the human experience. We are in this ebb and flow of constantly experiencing life and death through the body fluidly, without fear. Okay, so this is how we cultivate that resilience to the unknown. We become friends with the unknown, because now the unknown isn't this big scary thing that we are afraid of. When you come into the 0 point, you are used to this infinite potential. That means everything, from the most atrocious thing to the most harmonic divine thing. We must learn how to sustain and hold our grounded space for all of it and not fall apart, not self-destruct. Because you are none of it and you are all of it simultaneously. But we want to attach. So that's one thing that you can take a look at. Geraldine, your perceptions are broad and deep and so deep, dearly expressed. Love you, Judith. Thank you so much. Awesome. SJ, my love. Yes, I meant my emotions, like sensations that my body bring. Yeah. Thank you, Avi. And then from there will emerge your psychic abilities. Okay, so your psychic abilities, again, this really fundamental psychological thing that we have to work on in order to be psychic is to be friends with the unknown. Because when you're psychic, you're going to see everything. And a lot of people are afraid of that. I have a lot of clients that say, oh my God, I don't want to see anything. Well, you're not seeing a lot of things about your life either. And we lie to ourselves. That's the thing. When we are resisting truth, we are resisting seeing things around us. You're surrounded by entities that you can't even imagine around you right now. And some of you are like, oh my gosh, I don't want to feel that. We have to mature. And my invitation, because I'm seeing how this universe is going to change, we are going to become multidimensional, whether you like it or not. The invitation is that you do it in a harmonic way. Okay. So, SJ, I love your questions, but can you concise it into two liners? Okay. And then let me jump into the meditation. I'll come back to questions at the end. And then I'm going to answer questions in the YouTube. Guys, thank you so much. It's so awesome to see you here. Dee, great to see you. Vision, great to see you. Harry Shannon, great to see you. Blanca, love you. Thank you for being here. Nancy, great to see you. All right, guys, let's get into it. Go ahead and ground yourself down to the center of the earth. Breathe. So let's start with our breath to align with that releasing, absorbing. You're going to start to do it with your releasing, absorbing. Breathing. Go ahead and come fully into your body. Drop down into the spine, into the base of your feet. Try to have a nice straight spine in the upright position. It's easier if you sit up. Go ahead and create your grounding cord down to the center of the earth. Go ahead and visualize your bubble around you. Let's start to clear our energy field. Go ahead and clear your energy body down to the center of the earth. Clearing the energy front to back and back to front. Breathing, releasing, absorbing. You are in an ocean of infinite potential, in an ocean of life force. Every time you inhale, you bring that life force into your body. Every time you inhale, especially with awareness, you're waking up your body back into the present moment, waking up your consciousness. Every time you exhale, you're releasing. And you're going to mindfully release what doesn't serve you in this present moment. Okay, let's go deeper. I want you to bring from the center of the earth a powerful wave of green life force that comes rushing up your feet, up your legs, up into the solar plexus, creating a vortex of energy at your center core. From source, you're going to pull down a powerful wave of cosmic energy, gold energy that comes down through the crown of your head, combining with the green earth energy. Feel that rotation of earth and source energy through your body. You're going to send 10% of that combination back down to the center of the earth, creating a channel of elimination. Go ahead and take 80% of that green and gold up your spine and from the crown of your head, creating a fountain of energy coating the outside of your bubble. Expand your energy body. How do you expand your energy body? With your intention and your will. And the reinforcement of that light in your body. Call back your life force from all the people, places, and things that you've been attached to in the past 24 hours. Technologies that you might have been attached to in the past 24 hours. As you cut cords with everyone, cut cords on their end, and pull that cord out of your body and connect the cord to source. Go ahead and take that final 10% of green and gold, earth and source energy, and you're going to absorb it into the body now, into the pores, the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the cellular level of your body. Go ahead and make your sexual organs smile, your large intestine smile, small intestine smile, kidneys, spleen, pancreas, liver, make them smile, absorbing, allowing your body to absorb. Your stomach, your lungs, smile, your heart, smile. Now you can move to the extremities, the legs and the arms, smiling, the back, the front of your body, smiling, your face, smiling. Notice how your mind goes quiet. Find the observer, be with the observer. Go ahead and watch yourself now as you begin to work on the root chakra. You're going to shrink the root chakra down to the size of a dime. The sacral down to the size of a dime. The solar down to the size of a dime. Expanding the heart. The throat. The third eye. The crown. Expanding the crown. Illuminate the crown with your creative color. And you're going to align your higher self in your crown with your career, your family, relationships, love, sexual energy, creative life force, health, vitality, peace, harmony, your spiritual progression, and finally your purpose. What are you here to do? As you intentionally align your higher self and you wake up consciousness in all these aspects of your life, you're going to expand your bubble around you, illuminated by your crown chakra. I want you to see a room filled with karmic contracts. This room are all the agreements that you made from birth in order to learn, experience, evolve. The many different kinds of agreements that you might have in this lifetime to experience what you're experiencing. We're going to eliminate these contracts as we no longer want to learn them from the perspective of the matrix, from the perspective of suffering, pain, and separation. Go ahead and eliminate them. One by one, burn them up, tear them up, dissolve them, disintegrate them. And you're going to fill this room with your creative color. If you don't know your creative color, just put gold. You're going to fill that room with gold, and we're going to move to the next room. The next room are all the people that don't have our best interest. These are very karmic relationships, shadows, entities, attachments that no longer serve us. Go ahead and see those shadows dissolving. No need to have emotions, reactions of any kind. As neutral as possible, dissolve those shadows. Go ahead and fill that room with your creative color. You're going to see a bundle of sticks on the floor in the middle of the room. Go ahead and pick them up, and you're going to break them in half. The whole bundle. Just break it in half. All the sticks broken. These are the cords and contractual agreements that you have with these shadows. You're going to just dissolve them. And once again, you're going to fill this room with your creative color. And if you don't know your creative color, you're going to fill it with gold. So this is the etheric energy work part of your meditation. Let's go deeper now. I want you to begin to observe yourself over the past 24 hours. Just observing your strongest triggers in the past 24 hours. Go ahead and narrow in on the emotion that is the strongest. Be present with that emotion in your body and go ahead and name out the emotions that arise as you're present observing it. Take a look and see what is the need underneath this strong emotion. Allow yourself to select the strongest of these emotions and observe the need of that strong emotion. What is the need? Make it as simple as you can. Allow yourself to now feed the need of this part of us. If you don't know how to feed the need, ask yourself, what is the opposite of this desire? So what is being desired in that moment? And let's say that the feeling was loss of control or loss of fear. What would the opposite look like? Let's say being in control. And then the question is, what do you need in order to feel in control? Let's say the answer is safety. And then feel in your body what you need from yourself in order to feel safe. And as you explore those emotions in your body, you're beginning to design a formula how to alchemize this core belief system, this core need that is not met. So let's say in order to feel safe, one needs to be more present with themselves, observe themselves, acknowledge themselves more often or constantly. And in that acknowledgement, open communication with yourself. And in that communication, have more compassion, more love towards the self. It's just an example. So allow yourself to notice why some of these are so hard for us to embody. They might be very simple, but they might be very challenging to embody. Allow yourself to fill yourself with these emotions that are needed. And as you do, I want you to explore deeper, observing what it feels like. Let's say at the core, it's about self-compassion, self-understanding, self-love. And so if you fill your body with that compassion, notice what emotion comes up. Let's say it's safety. Okay, so you found how to get to safety. Now you feel safe. So embody safety. Observe the safety in your body. Notice how it feels. Just observing what comes up. So immediately you're going to feel a major shift in your body, more calm, more peaceful, and you will notice many aspects of yourself that were previously maybe really asking for your attention are now seen. And as you become more familiar with this emotion, just going to feel it, take it as deep as you can until you are able to access a higher vibrational state of being. Let's say you're able to feel really deep feelings of peace and joy and happiness now. Just allow yourself to sit with whatever emotions are emerging. Very good. Go ahead and integrate that into your body. Take a look at all the fractals of yourself through the week that have repeated this, showing them this formula and integrating into your body. Go ahead and activate and open the root chakra at the base of the spine, the sacral, the solar, closing the heart a little bit, the throat a little bit, the third eye a little bit. So your chakras went from looking like this to looking like a straight line. Allowing yourself to expand the field around your body. And go ahead and allow yourself to activate the 7th and the 8th chakra, the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Above you is a powerful white light, a source. Go ahead and bring that source down into your body, into the heart, into the perineum, down to the center of the earth. Ground yourself into your body. And go ahead and open your eyes and come back into the room. Oh no. Did I lose you guys? I think our live streaming got lost. Sorry if we got lost there. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It was an honor to share with you, as always. And I am really grateful for this work. I hope that you were able to identify some key things, discover yourself over the past 24 hours, and were able to alchemize that. So, as always, I'm so humbled by your incredible work and willingness to do this work. You guys are an inspiration to me, and I love you so much. And let me see if I can try to answer just a couple more questions. And yeah, also, I spent 2 hours this morning putting together a beautiful newsletter for you guys, only to find that when I clicked to another window, it just closed and I lost everything. It didn't save. Usually it saves it, and it just saw. So I will try to put some time on that tonight. But I have some really exciting new events that I'm going to be participating in, and I'm going to be sharing them with you. But let's go through my calendar first for this month. For those of you that are interested in getting an energy healing, reading, and clearing, I'm going to be doing that. Let me just open my calendar here to make sure that we have. Let's see. We have a remote viewing class workshop. Okay, so for those of you that are practicing remote viewing and want to refine your skills and your abilities, please check it out. Let's go to the events calendar here for a second. Yeah, so what do we have here? Remote viewing on the 16th, that's next Saturday, 1 p.m. It's a remote viewing workshop. For those of you that have been, these have been really, really fun, really great events where we practice remote viewing with each other. And yeah, I really hope you can join us. I make it as super proactive as possible because I think the best way to learn is through practice. So I want you guys to emerge. So you guys are remote viewing each other. We break out in groups. And it's just a lot of fun. And there isn't a single person that doesn't get to see and tune into the information. Also on the 23rd, I finally get to reschedule my beautiful workshop from last month, which is basically the bioelectrical emotional system. Okay, so this workshop kind of morphed into what it is over the past couple months. Originally, it was how to master and process your emotions. But what I was receiving is that there's a much deeper layer to that, and it's really understanding the bioelectrical system of co-creation. Because when you learn how to master and feel your emotions fully, process your emotions fully, then you can create. So this is something that is really exciting. I have the most amazing presentation that I've worked on for this one, and I hope you can join me. So that's on the 23rd. The 27th is our energy reading and healing clinic. I'm going to scan your body. I have 2 graduates of my energy intuition GPAC training, and I'm hoping they will join me. Last month we had Anna join me. Anna's amazing. And we have another graduate, Matthew, who's just incredible. So they might be joining us, and they will also be doing reading and healing. So I read and scan the body, take a look at where those blockages are, and we work on them. And of course, it's whatever is available to you at that time. Okay. Yeah, and then next month in September, I have a lot of really exciting events, but I haven't put them all on the calendar yet. But I'll be speaking at a couple conferences here in the Bay Area, and also virtually. Okay, so definitely check that out. SJ says, what forms our vibration? Is it our accumulation of thoughts, emotions, But is this how beliefs is created, right? The vibration of our emotion states then? That's right. Yes, your vibrational frequency is made up of all of your belief systems, subconscious and conscious, but especially the ones that are in the subconscious mind, because those are the ones running the show. Yeah, so I'm seeing domestic violence between my parents. What is the contribution and how can I change that? I was doing your deep regressive meditation for this. Yeah, that's a really important one. But I work with a lot of people that have gone through domestic violence, also have had an experience in my early life as well. So it's really important to understand this, the dynamic in the core of what's behind that. We're talking about generations of the inversion of the suppression of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and learning how to rebalance those things. And what it really comes down to is very, very deep seated beliefs of unworthiness on both sides, father and mother. Okay, so the invitation is to take a look at your belief systems around your self-worth. Because when we feel unworthy, we don't feel that we can control anything. And of course, when we have violence, we have these deep-seated angers that begin to come up. Okay, and they are manifested in many different ways. So these are things that they are very profound. For this kind of work, I would really suggest doing some deep internal shadow work, because there's many layers to uncover, and it's just amazing what you discover when you go into them. Okay. Also, you discover how you are reliving those patterns, which is usually the most humbling and shocking part of the work. That you begin to understand how anger is driving you, or how your insecurities or fear, unworthiness drives. A lot of children of domestic violence, they feel that they're so separate from that violence, but in reality, they've been reliving that same core violent belief systems against themselves for a long time. And this, when you realize that, it breaks the pattern and it changes resonance, because a lot of time people that are products of domestic violence families tend to find domestic family partners, right? So these are things that we have to change, and the invitation is to end them and those patterns. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. As always, we went way over time today. Is the class that had to get rescheduled on the 23rd or the 30th? 23rd. Yeah, D, it's 23rd. And if you already registered, awesome. You guys are all set, ready to join me. We have a lot of registers. It's going to be a big class, so it'd be great to have you guys. Judith says, what can be done for us by energy workers like you, and what can and must be done by ourselves? Honestly, everything is done by you. So I'm just here to aid you with my vision in maybe parts that you're not seeing. And sometimes, it's really hard to see ourselves. Sometimes when we're very disconnected from ourselves, we don't see hidden aspects of our subconscious. But my work, all the work that I do, is to train you to see it. So when you're working with me, I'm showing you and teaching you how to see it. None of my work is just simple, let me show you what it is and believe it blindly and do it. Even the energy reading class, when I read your energy body, you have to connect with what you're reading and see if it resonates and work with that. Yeah, so that's part of my commitment to my work. I don't align with the idea of just calling myself a psychic and just giving information blindly. My job is to teach you to be psychic and be your healer, period. And I'm going to instruct all the ins and outs of that, so to help you, empower you, because that's the embodiment of free will. Okay. So what can I do? I can support you in that, in a DNA reprogramming. My job is to guide you and show you how to learn these deep techniques of alchemy, so that you can alchemize your stuff. And I walk you through it step by step, because I can see everything that you're seeing. I feel everything that you're feeling. And that allows me to guide you when you are looking at memories. I can see all your memories and the memories that you've had with your childhood. Some of them are tremendous. So we go through pretty deep experiences in order to understand what is the gold there. How do we become love from those experiences. And that's the work. Okay. All right, guys. And come back over here. Thank you so much, Eva, Sanoka. Thank you so much, Lisa. My teeth are decaying and I'm barely 30. I feel so helpless. What do you suggest? Aquamarine. So teeth problems have to do with ancestral blockages. I want you to take a look at what is the main ancestral block that has been in your bloodline for many generations. And of course, in Chinese medicine model, every single tooth is connected to different parts of the body. And there are really, really deep underlying core belief systems about that. So take a look at that. Because we're fractal, every part of your body, every finger, every toe, every part of your body is intercommunication with this interconnected network of information and self-organizing wisdom. So we can access that information and work with that. Okay. Okay, very good. Yes. Vision Bison says, we do have the same potential light within, but is there specificities depending on the skin color and ethnicity? So, yeah, this goes really deep into my work on epigenetics, and also the self-organizing intelligence of this planet Earth has organized vibrational frequencies by races, culture, things like that. So every bloodline, wherever you are born, we inherit collective traumas, collective belief systems that we're healing collectively. Okay, so your ethnicity, okay, it's a way to experience duality in this realm. But the most important is, what is the collective traumas that come with those bloodlines? That's the important thing. And so at the end of that work, you're going to find that we're all going through the same challenges, okay? On one level or another, we are all going through some kinds of challenges. But there are races that are older than others. Okay, so some races on this planet Earth, ethnic groups are older. So we have a lot more ancient wisdom that we are holding in the bloodline. And a lot of times, the lessons that come with that can be very powerful, very strong, very karmic lessons, seemingly difficult to overcome. But people that are born into very karmic family lines, they are very old souls, which means they have a lot of wisdom that they've lived through for many lifetimes. Younger souls have different kinds of purpose, different kinds of reasons. And when I say younger, there's a misconception. I'm talking about, like, how much wisdom and how many lifetimes have you lived? How many times have you been a master? But it's really not like that. It's everything exists simultaneously. Okay. And so when I say younger, it really is, how can I describe this? It's really hard to explain. Since time is spherical, the lessons that you're experiencing in this timeline at this time are going to be lighter for you because you've experienced lives in other planetary systems. Okay, so we're talking about this timeline. So you might be young here, but you're not young in other planetary systems. And I see that a lot through hypnotherapy. I'm identifying that through collective ethnic groups and what are their core values. There's very strong repetitive traumas that people are going through. And then you find intergalactic traumas. Okay, so people that are connected, let's say, to the Pleiades or the Orion beings or Arcturian, they also have archetypal aspects that they're transcending. Those are collective group lessons that they're transcending. So we're kind of moving through these archetypes little by little. Okay. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. We can go on and on. We can be here all day, really, but I will see you next week, and hope to see you at some of these events. Love you. See you soon. Bye.